Technology always outpaces legislation.
I have another question for you, John. Do statements like his reflect the direction the industry is already moving, or are they trying to shape public acceptance?
Great question, and the answer is yes. It's a combination. And what I mean by that, I want to say one thing to all of your viewers. Technology always outpaces legislation. I served in the Indiana General Assembly back in the mid-1990s. And if you are old enough to remember what video cameras looked like in the 1980s, they were shoulder mount. They were like big toasters or small microwaves that people carried on their shoulders, and they took VHS tapes. And they would record about 30 minutes before you had to recharge them. In the early 1990s, video cameras went from this to this. And all of a sudden, cameras are showing up in places like women's locker room inside of a planter. And the whole point is there was no law against it. You could argue that a peeping Tom law written about somebody that's looking through a woman's window might apply, but that there's no person involved here. It's a camera that was put somewhere that it doesn't belong. But because just a couple of years earlier, you wouldn't hide a VHS shoulder mount camera inside of a planter. So there was no law on the book to go after people putting these really small cameras in places that they shouldn't be. My point is legislation always outpaces, technology always outpaces legislation, because nobody passes a law to outlaw something that doesn't exist. And because of that lag, that's where we are right now. Companies like Flock, companies like Fog Data Science, they are pumping out all types of surveillance equipment. Police are using it, and they're circumventing the Fourth Amendment. But they're doing this because laws are slow to catch up. It's not illegal what they're doing. Now, I would argue that it violates the Fourth Amendment, but I'm not a judge. And it's going to take a judge saying this violates the Fourth Amendment before we start putting some brakes on it. And I just want to clarify one thing for all of your viewers. The Fourth Amendment is pretty straightforward. The right of the people to be secure in their people, in their persons, their houses, their papers, and effects shall not be violated, and that search warrants require probable cause, and the person asking for the search warrant must present probable cause to the judge and describe in particular what they're searching for. So it's not a fishing expedition. They can't just say, Chris looks suspicious, I want to go search his house and see what I can find. You have to say, here is my reason for believing this person is guilty of something. You have to say what you think they're guilty of. And then you have to say what evidence you expect to find if the judge allows you to go search. You can't just say, I'm curious what he has in his house. And he didn't invite me in, so he must be hiding something. That's the way the Fourth Amendment was written. Give the judge the evidence you have that a particular person is guilty. And if you present enough evidence that the judge says that's reasonable, the judge will give you a warrant to go look for whatever it is you claim that you think you're going to find there. What this mass surveillance is doing is completely turning that upside down. The person's walking down the street, they might be guilty of something. Okay, I'll buy that. There's a possibility. Let's talk about how many members of Congress have gone to prison over the last 30 years. But the whole point is it possible the random person walking down the street is guilty of something? Sure it is. But the Constitution doesn't say because somebody might be guilty, you can go search them. You have to give probable cause to say, I think this person committed this crime. And judge, if you let me search them, or you let me search their house, or you let me search their car, here's what I think I will find. All of that's being thrown out the window because now it's, let's basically search everyone. Let's keep an eye on everyone. And if I see somebody driving 45 miles from home at 10 p.m. at night, I don't know why they're out there. That's suspicious. Most people don't drive 45 miles away from home at 10 p.m. That person's probably up to something. Let me see their life story. Let me see their internet browsing history. Let me see their bank records. Let me see everything else so I can find out if there's anything that I can charge them with. That's where we're going.